Why can they study here, a place ranked among the 10 worst schools in the world? Welcome to the latest issue of unimaginable. If you've ever had questions or concerns about, here is the list of schools, which likely includes the one I currently attend. LL soon change your mind. In fact, you won. It's hard to believe, but structures like this truly did exist. Some were even built in seemingly impossible locations, while many other schools enforce extremely bizarre regulations. In today's video, Matt will share those rules with you. Here is a list of the 10 schools considered to be the worst in the world, places where you certainly would not want to be a student. Number 10. Do parents with children attending this school always live in a state of anxiety? The school is located in the Janskar region, an area with an extremely harsh climate and severe cold. In the majestic Himalayas, far from crowded residential areas, taking children to school is an incredibly arduous journey. Parents often have to carry their children on their backs to cross the frigid Singala River, because letting the little ones cross on their own would be far too dangerous. Crossing the river at this time, the water could rise as high as your waist, harboring many unpredictable dangers. The village where these families live is located in an extremely remote and isolated area. The road to school is a challenging journey, with a bumpy and slippery path. This stretch of road demands extreme caution and patience from travelers, as there is no other way to get to school. The children here are forced to undertake this arduous journey every single day. That fact is the clearest testament to the voluntary spirit and iron resolve of parents in securing educational opportunities for their children, despite all dangers and obstacles. Welcome to school number 9, one of the most unique and peculiar schools in the world. Woodcraft Academy of Magic. However, it must be emphasized that this is not the school of magic from the famous Harry Potter novel series that everyone commonly knows. This is a genuine institution of witchcraft education located in Roseville, a city in the American state of Illinois. At the Academy of Woodcraft, students are not only taught traditional subjects but are also trained in the arcane arts of wizardry, including knowledge of the chemistry of potions and ancient magical methods like the Kabbalah. This is truly heaven for enthusiasts, and the mystics could delve deeply into the supernatural elements they revered. However, this school has also faced considerable controversy. Many people oppose the teaching of subjects related to witchcraft, as they fear this knowledge. It could be exploited for malicious purposes, causing harm to others. Previously, this school had to close for a period of time for the reasons mentioned above, but it was later reopened in Salem, a place famous for the witch trials held there in the late 17th century. Salem is not only famous for its historical witch trials, but is also deeply associated with countless eerie and haunting tales of magic and spirits. What is particularly special yet utterly horrifying is that from 1962 to 1963, this place witnessed a series of terrifying events related to witches. So, what do you think of this school? You must be feeling both curious and excited, right? Sichuan province is considered one of the world. What makes Gulu School particularly special is its extremely remote location, as it is considered the most isolated school in the world. The school is like a paradise. To get to class, the students must undertake a journey of approximately 5 hours, traversing treacherous and perilous paths. The road to school was not only long but also extremely treacherous, with dangerous hairpin turns and steep slopes to overcome. At its narrowest points, the path is only about 40 centimeters wide, where a single misstep could lead to a tragic accident. The environment here isn't pleasant in the slightest. The school constantly has to endure harsh conditions, especially dust and grime. The leaky roof and unstable internet connection make studying difficult and very uncomfortable. However, what is truly admirable is the resilience and community spirit of the village's inhabitants. A few years ago, they decided not to passively wait for outside support, but to instead take it upon themselves to renovate this living environment. They devoted considerable effort and passion to improving learning conditions, making the educational environment more friendly and safe for students. These efforts not only provide students with a better learning environment but also demonstrate the spirit of solidarity and the love that the community has for the younger generation. Number 7. Burley Hill School in London has a very special principle, which is that there are no rules whatsoever. It may sound paradoxical, but this is how the school defines freedom. Founded approximately 25 years ago, Burley Hill is renowned as one of the world's most unique and distinctive schools. The school's classes are held in an old Victorian-style villa, creating a truly unique and distinctive learning environment. Here, students aged 7 to 17 are free to do as they please. They can run around, converse in their preferred language, or simply only attend the classes that genuinely excite them. Although schools provide a full range of core subjects such as mathematics, literature, and history, students are completely free to choose classes that suit their personal interests. The school's perspective is that this freedom will help students develop greater self-discipline and a stronger sense of responsibility. You might find this hard to believe, but there are actually students here who have only attended school once in 2 entire years. This could be considered a very liberal educational method, but its actual effectiveness remains a major question mark. In your opinion, is this the ideal school that everyone dreams of, or merely a bizarre idea in the history of education? The number 6 is a figure rich with diverse and fascinating meanings. In Eastern cultures, it is often regarded as a lucky number, symbolizing smoothness and favorable outcomes in both work and life. Conversely, in some Western cultural beliefs, the number 6 can be associated with imperfection and even malevolent forces. Regardless of interpretation, it is undeniable that the number 6 holds a unique place, sparking curiosity and inspiring a wealth of interpretations. If you think biking to school in the early morning is a challenge, you might want to reconsider that thought when living in Langshanten, Indonesia. Here, students face a real challenge to get to school on time: crossing a damaged bridge. This bridge is not only old but also severely damaged, with many broken sections and extreme instability, making it unsafe. To cross the bridge, you must hold tightly to the railing, hoping the bridge won't be swept away by flash floods or collapse from sudden gusts of wind. There is another way to get to school, but that route takes an extra half-hour compared to the one across the bridge. For students already accustomed to waking up early for school, having to wake up even earlier to travel a longer distance is an immense challenge. Therefore, they took the risk of crossing the damaged bridge, hoping everything would go smoothly and no serious incident would occur. This situation highlights the deficient infrastructure and reflects the difficulties many rural communities face in ensuring their children can continue their education. This is not merely a matter of student safety, but also a wake-up call about the difficulties remote areas around the world face in their efforts to provide a safe and adequate learning environment for children. Imagine having to study in a school so filthy that your own health is seriously compromised. That is the reality unfolding at the Chest Pain School in Detroit, USA. This school has become a nightmare for both students and teachers due to its appalling sanitary conditions. Inside the school, mold coats every nook and cranny, with cockroaches and insects crawling everywhere. The gym floor is perpetually damp, creating an ideal environment for bacteria and mold to proliferate. The situation had deteriorated to the point where a section of the school was forced to close due to the gym being severely contaminated with mold. Authorities were forced to dismantle the canopy and the entire ventilation system due to the inability to resolve the issue of sudden temperature changes. The weather, at times bitterly cold and at others intensely hot, not only makes it difficult to maintain a stable learning environment but also encourages the proliferation of mold and dust. Poor sanitation has seriously affected the students' health. Frequent exposure to dust, insects, and mold causes many children to develop respiratory problems as well as other illnesses related to polluted environments. Unfortunately, this issue is far more serious than the difficulties with learning conditions. The school principal did not use the budget to repair and upgrade the facilities, but instead used that money for personal purposes. Ultimately, his own lack of accountability led to him receiving a 1-year prison sentence. This is a heartbreaking lesson on the importance of maintaining a safe and hygienic learning environment. In addition, the passage also emphasizes the responsibility of management to ensure that budget funds are used for their intended purpose, in order to protect the health and safety of students. The school holding the Guinness World Record for the title of world's tallest school is a small primary school located in the Paruma Dongkar area of Tibet. This school is situated in a village at an altitude of 4,000 meters above sea level, a location that is both incredibly impressive and immensely challenging. At this altitude, the region possesses an extremely harsh climate and exceedingly difficult living conditions. To get to school every day, the students here must undertake an incredibly arduous journey. They faced bitterly cold, harsh weather and thin air. This makes it extremely difficult to focus on studying. The winters here are not only bitterly cold but also seem to drag on endlessly. And living at such a high altitude also makes everyday activities exhausting and challenging. Despite difficult circumstances, the students persevere in attending class every day. This demonstrates the students' admirable resilience and will to overcome hardship. This primary school operated from 1986 to 2007. Throughout that time, it became a symbol of courage and determination. However, due to its treacherous and extremely high terrain, this task encountered countless difficulties and dangers. The school was forced to close in 2017 due to safety concerns. Students need to be transferred to a new school in the city of Dacha. Although the new school is also located on rather high ground, its facilities have been significantly upgraded compared to the old school. Now, the students no longer have to endure the harsh cold and the hardships and deprivations of the past, and can focus on their studies in a more comfortable environment. In the end, even though this school ultimately had to close its doors, it remains a powerful testament to the perseverance and determination not only of the students but of the entire community, and an indelible milestone in the educational history of Tibet. Number 3. A school in the village of Atuli, China. This place is renowned not only for its remote and isolated location, but also for the incredibly arduous and perilous journey the students must undertake to reach their classroom. To get to school, the children must undertake a journey lasting from 2 to 4 hours. This stretch of the path is quite challenging, involving navigating narrow passages and climbing steep staircases. The road to school is very dangerous because there are no handrails or protective barriers. Therefore, even the slightest oversight can lead to serious accidents. Students must tread carefully, step by step, to avoid slipping and falling down the mountain. An unforeseeable risk. On weekends, the children have to return home, which means each week they must endure that arduous journey twice. This is not merely a physical challenge, but also a test of one's mental fortitude and perseverance. The village of Klipolis, where the students reside, boasts a history spanning over 200 years. What makes this place truly special is its remoteness and profound tranquility. The village and the school are not a random arrangement. They are part of a tradition built by the forefathers of this land. They chose a reclusive life in this remote land, driven by a longing to live in peace, far from all wars and conflicts. This tradition has become an indispensable part of community life and a solid spiritual anchor during difficult times. Their daily journey to school demonstrates an admirable spirit of perseverance and resilience. School is a highly challenging environment. Preserving traditions and safeguarding the values of the community is of the utmost importance. Number 2. Hidden in a remote corner of Syria is a unique school, nestled deep within a dark cave. The school's name is Saprilla al-Anima. What makes it special, setting it completely apart from any other school, is that its true nature is that of an underground well was opened by a teacher named Muhammad and his wife. The decision to turn my house into a school was a deliberate choice, not a random one at all. This is a reaction to the complex and evolving political and military situation in Syria, a situation that has had profound and far-reaching consequences. The education system here is being severely impacted. When they go to school, the students only have about 4 hours a day. In the brief period of your school days, you will become acquainted with the fundamental subjects: Arabic, English, mathematics, and religious education. Despite the many inadequacies and hardships of studying in a cave, however, the teachers always try their best to ensure that students do not have gaps in their knowledge. However, bad weather such as heavy rain or flooding can sometimes also make studying difficult. In such situations, teachers often need to flexibly organize outdoor classes. Beneath the sky stood a makeshift tent. It was a temporary but necessary measure to ensure everyone's safety. Sin was able to continue his studies, overcoming all the difficulties caused by his circumstances and environment. Although the school is situated in a harsh and far from ideal environment, the efforts of Mr. Muhammad and his wife are truly commendable. With a resilient spirit and a profound love for their profession, they built a safe learning environment and a steadfast anchor for students in times of adversity, offering a powerful testament to the strength of education and the faith in a brighter tomorrow. 1. Bangladesh, a country frequently battered by floods, is precisely where an innovative solution emerged. To ensure that students' learning is not interrupted, floating schools have been built right on the river. A total of 23 floating schools were built in Andhra to serve the educational needs of students. Bangladesh is known for its year-round rainy season and severe flooding, which frequently forces schools to close. The roads are frequently submerged in floodwaters. To remedy this situation and ensure that students can still to enable continued learning regardless of the weather, floating schools were built by a charity. Every morning, the boats cut through the waves on the Andhra River to pick up and transport the schoolchildren. Overly spacious,